Hello everyone and welcome to the BSRTC. We are here tonight from Watkins Glen in the United States. My name is Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Adam, first of all, we've got over 40 cars going around the classic boot track, the site of the United States Grand Prix, quite a few years ago now, but it should be a heck of a race.
Yeah, it's great to be back here at the Watkins Glen International Circuit. We were last here back in Season 7 with 3 fantastic races, probably some of the best in the BSRTC history, and it's going to be all about the slipstream tonight, and that makes for some fantastic racing.
Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship driver, self-confessed lover of Watkins Glen International. What is it about this track that makes it so special for you?
It's a fantastic track, great opportunity to overtake, very fast, very flowing, cambered corners. You know, you can really push the car in some of these really tight corners as well. So it's a great circuit. The guys are going to have a lot of fun out there tonight.
A lot of people may have seen may be more used to the NASCAR layout, of course, the Cup circuit, Alex, but that infield section poses its own problems, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, the infield is very tricky actually. Like I say, there's a lot of camber around there, and you know, the toe hill, and then when you rejoin the Cup circuit, nasty bit of adverse camber there as well that can really throw the car out. So it's a little challenge, but yeah, everyone's so accustomed to this circuit. I think we're going to see some great battles, some really close action tonight.
Adam, the drivers are out there for qualifying 2. It's very close, where everyone's trying to get a gap and everyone's trying to use the slipstream to their advantage. Take us through the 15 cars that are taking part in this session.
Oh yes, at the moment on provisional pole position is Wojciech Savidovic. He's only 100th of a second though ahead of Andreas Katz. Qualifying still ongoing, so that time could change. Jamie Fluke, he just seems to be improving week on week at the moment. He's in 3rd position with Alex Smolensky in 4th. Daniel Hunt's in 5th, and the iRacing World Championship driver Sebastian Job is in 6th position at the moment. 7th it is Ben Palmer. Then in 8th place it's David Baker. He performed exceptionally well the last time we were here back in Season 7. 9th it is Daniel Kraft with Jamie Rushworth in 10th. Rushworth, of course, returning this week after missing out at Mid-Ohio. Rob Fagg is in 11th position with Kip Stevens in 12th. Simon Field is in 13th with Lee Thompson in 14th and Steve Richardson in 15th. So those are the 15 cars running in qualifying at the moment. Let's run you through the Drivers' Championship going into this race meeting at Watkins Glen. And it is the pole sitter Wojciech Savidovic atop the standings by 386 points ahead of Andreas Katz in 2nd. David Baker is in 3rd with Stelin Chepelevsky in 4th and Alex Smolensky in 5th. Simon Field, he seems to be improving as well. He's up into 6th position with Kip Stevens in 7th. Pete Newman in 8th. Sebastian Job in 9th. And Jamie Rushworth, after missing out at Mid-Ohio last week, is now down to 10th position.
Yeah, and it's going to be very tight there. You see top 5 cars separated by just under 0.2 of a second. And Alex, I guess Watkins is somewhat of a race of strategy as well, isn't it? Because of the fact that you can overtake round here and you can make a move when, if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. I think the guys are going to have to time their overtakes well. There'll almost be some people that will be lining up to do a move on the last lap, I dare say, for this race. Depending on what happens, of course, we never know. We could get a little breakaway at the front. So, going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Just coming to the end of qualifying 2, and Wojciech Savidovic has taken pole position, Adam, by just 100th of a second. But he's going to have his work cut out from behind, isn't he? Andreas Katz just there, the number 1 car, the reigning champion. And he's going to be looking to take the win here.
Yeah, very close at the top. Jamie Fluke in 3rd position. What a fantastic job from him. Well, we've got the top 6 all separated by just over 0.2 of a second. And that is exceptionally close. And the thing is, for Wojciech Savidovic, he's not going to be able to escape during the first race due to the slipstream being so beneficial here. Andreas Katz is going to be right with him for all 11 laps of this race, and that's going to put immense strain on these touring car drivers. But then again, these are the best in the business here on iRacing, and I'm sure they'll be able to rise up to the challenge.
Yeah, and that's what this BSRTC Pro Series is all about. Remember, these guys and girls racing out there for $10,000 a share of it at least. And Adam, the AM drivers, the ES Trophy contenders, they're also out there. Let us know how their top 5 stands.
Yes, in the Pro-Am Championship, Paul Smith leads by just 25 points over the Engine All Direct driver of John Roberts. Richard Gore is in third for Apex Racing TV with Andrew Whitehead in fourth. Laura Bond is in fifth for Paramax with Scott Malcolm in sixth. Pete Newman Media driver Stephen Burke is in seventh with Steve Richardson in eighth. Jay Wright in ninth, and Eckhart von Glan rounding out the top 10 in the Pro-Am Championship. In the Teams Championship, which is of course where the majority of the prize money is going towards, Engine Alls Direct is at top of the standings there by 730 points over GT Omega with STEM Sim Racing in third. Only 37 points though separating GT Omega and STEM Sim Racing, so watch out for one of those two teams to have a good result tonight and possibly close in that gap. Powermaxed in fourth with Pete Newman Media in sixth. Leo Bodner Motorsport in sixth. Apex Racing TV, despite having the likes of Sebastian Job, still down in seventh position, but they are on the up. Laser Tools in eighth. Team Carnage in ninth. And Team OGR rounds out the top 10.
Alex, I think Watkins in these touring cars is very much a car circuit, and you're going to have the setup really underneath you to do anything spectacular in the race. One team that stands out of having a very good qualifying, even though their cars are at the back end of the top 15, is Powermax. They've got Jamie Rushworth in 10th, Kip Stevens in 12th, and Steve Richardson in 15th. And, you know, they could take home some very solid points for the championship.
Yeah, you're right. Great performance by Steve. Actually, see him up there. One of his better qualifyings of the season, I would think, looking at that. So, yeah, great job from them. Like you say, worked well together in qualifying. I dare say they've set the car up to be extremely quick in a straight line. We were talking to the Engine Oil Direct drivers earlier on, and they were explaining that they were perhaps sacrificing tiny little bit of cornering with the cambers a bit lower around here because they just want that extra straight line speed out of it as well. So this track really is absolutely all about the speed, especially when you're in the draft as well.
Yeah, just a couple of driver notes really. Charles Sears is a newcomer to the series. He's qualified 22nd, but we know him from previous races here on Apex Racing TV a couple of years ago. And also Michael Hall is back as well. It's good to see him here, and he's 27th at the moment. Alex, who would you say that your money is on then for race 1? Judging by the qualifying, it's very hard to tell. Yeah,
I wouldn't put any money on this race at all. You just got no idea who's going to win this. It's going to be so close. The draft really is going to be a massive equaliser. Anyone from 1st to 20th place could win this race.
Just quickly, Adam, we spoke to Jamie Fluke a couple of weeks ago. He said that he had a good start, but he says he's looking to improve, and he's definitely qualified well here.
Yeah, third position up with the likes of Andreas Katz and Wojciech Svidovic. He is in good company. Let's hope he just doesn't get too overwhelmed by those guys. But of course, behind him, he's got Smolenski and Daniel Hunt, two drivers will really push him hard. Sebastian Job in 6th position as well. He always performs well in the first race of the evening. He could be out to take another victory. So many variables for this first race of the evening, and not too long to go now before the lights go green.
There are just a few cars waiting to take their place on this starting grid. And just a quick look at the weather conditions. 24 degrees air temperature, 39 degrees track temperature. Alex, will that be a factor?
Yeah, I think the guys were a little bit concerned by the weather today. So clouds are coming in late afternoon as well. So I think it's the last race they're more worried about.
Yep, and we know that the Kia is quite problematic in those sorts of conditions. So let's see then. We're eagerly awaiting this start. See these 42 cars steaming into turn 1. Penalties served, actually. Graham Carroll, Steve Walker and Stephen Boat, they're at the back of the grid for previous transgressions.
Here we go.
We're getting ready now as the red lights are coming on at Watkins Glen.
Green, green, green.
The green light is on and Savinovic gets away from the front row, but as usual this start is not fantastic, and he's already side by side with Andreas Katz. Jamie Fluke is having a little look into turn 1. Andreas Katz goes around the outside of Savinovic, and uses that run-off area to his advantage. Can he maintain that as they go up through the S's section? He can into the lead. Goes the reigning champion Andreas Katz. Second for Svidovic, third for Fluke, fourth for Smolenski, and then it's fifth for Sebastian Job, then Daniel Hunt, Jamie Rushworth, Ben Palmer, Dave Baker, and Daniel Kraft. Look at them all fanning out, Alex, on the back straight. It's a tremendous sight.
Yeah, what a great start there. Everybody's through safely as well. We saw even the mid and back and guys right at the back there as well. So easy to get caught up in something with the alarm coach just funneling you back towards the track. But yeah, great start by everyone there, and Katz awesome round the outside.
Dan Hunt's just put a move on Jamie Rushworth for 6th place. Just lost a place to Sebastian Job. Smolenski's gone wide. That might cost him the position to the World Championship driver. Alex Job was very impressive in the at Okayama at the weekend.
Yeah, very, very quick again. Another top 10 in the World Championship, so he's on fire at the moment. Full of confidence.
Smolenski defending the line, Adam. Has he got much of a chance here into this downhill corner?
Oh, Sebastian Job going around the outside. That means he'll have the inside line for the next corner, which is a left-hander, and also in front, Jamie Fluke putting Svidovic under immense pressure. Not a good first lap by the Season 6 champion, and Smolenski just holds on in front of Job, but now he's under pressure from Daniel Hunt in the GTM Mega Car. They are side by side as they head into the left-hander. 2 corners to go in his first lap, and I think they're still going to be side by side into the final corner. Sebastian Job will have the inside line now, and he should just hold on to the position as Daniel Hunt now gets forced out wide, allowing Jamie Rushworth to get alongside.
Rushworth is going to get the run, Adam, but however, Dan Hunt still has the slipstream from Sebastian Job, and you see the orange car there. That's Ben Palmer. He's a former race winner. He's just a privateer this season, running independently. But that's what Alex, you said last week, that it's one of the dangers now in this series with the quality, as we've got cars going side by side up the Essex section. That's Lee Thompson and Kim Stevens. You said that you make a move here, you risk losing many places. Yeah, exactly. You really can just get freight train straight to the back. And this is a great little fight all going on between Stevens, Thompson, Fields in there as well. It's anything could happen going in there. It's like restrictor plate racing out there. And actually, I think the Apex car, Jake Blackwell, I think maybe touched the back of his teammates Lee Thompson's car into the boot section through this very, very tricky little left-hander, which you always think, Alex, when you get through it, you could have taken it quicker, and these guys still taking it at a fair pace in this Gear Optima. Yeah, crazy speeds out there that these cars will get up to as well, and yeah, I'm sure they're going to be pushing to the absolute limit out there right now, and this section, this is where you really can get into a bit of a zone and start carrying a little bit more speed than you thought was possible. Cat's actually putting a slight move, trying to move away, Adam, in the early going. Just lap 2, he's already got 3/4 of a second nearly over Andreas Katz. Stephen Burke's had some problems out there. He's in the pit lane at the moment as well. There's a few drivers that are stationary at the minute. Zuzov is another one as well. This is just why Katz is showing his P2 on screen at the moment, but he is actually leading. I think Jeroen Kaiser's been in the pits, Adam, as well. Currently last. Yeah, coming across the line to complete the second lap, and Russell Layla's just gone into the pit lane as well as third position. Jamie Fluke still right with Wojciech Svidovic. What were their lap times like last time around? Svidovic 1:51.7, Jamie Fluke 1:51.5, so 0.2 of a second quicker for the Power Max drivers. They now work their way through the S's at the beginning of the lap, and now the long straight. No chicane here in the BSR TC as we head down towards the carousel, and look in the background, side by side there between Smolenski in 4th position and in 5th place Sebastian Job. Job trying to get past the Laser Tools car as we head into the carousel. He's going to try and get the move done round the outside. That is very brave there, and I think he's just going to run out of rows, and that's going to allow Smolenski to hold on to his 4th place. Job set the fastest lap that time in the wake of the Laser Tools car using the slipstream. Is he going to have a little look? Oh, and he's not really leaving much room for error there, but he's managed to just scare Smolenski slightly wide, and this is a long enough straight that he might be able to get a couple of half a car in front of Smolenski, but he's going to have to use the camber now, and that new piece of concrete, Alex, so valuable to get a good exit from this corner. Absolutely, Lee, that's exactly where you want to place the car. That's just golden round there. And he's going to be up the inside. Very tricky. Done deal, so he's managed to get through into 4th position. Have a look at the ground he's lost.
8 or so of a second now between Jamie Fluke in third and Sebastian Job in fourth. In fact, it's about 1.8 seconds, I do believe. So huge gap lost there by the fact that they're having to get past. And now it's going to be interesting to see if the slipstream can be that much of a benefit for Sebastian Job to get him back up to those front three at the front of the pack, because they're already breaking away. 0.4 of a second between Katz and Savidovic, and then Jamie Fluke in third as they come across the line.
Adam, I think the only danger that Job's got is that he's barely detached from the top three. Is he going to get overhauled by the very fast Smolenski and Hunt, who maybe don't have the outright pace of him, but with the slipstream round here, it's worth a good half a second at least.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a breakaway pack forming now. Fluke, Savidovic and Katz are already pulled away a bit of gotten a bit of advantage already on this lap. And Fluke, once again, just having a look at the back of Wojciech Savidovic. I don't think he's got enough in him to get it done this time as they head down the back straight. In fact, no one really forcing a move at the moment. In fact, it's Daniel Hunt just has a look down the inside of Smolenski. No move happening there.
You've got the other theory, Alex, that Job might drag Smolenski, might drag Hunt and Rushworth towards that front pack, and that could be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll give him a lap or two just to see if he can do exactly that. They're seeing right now that they're nearly 1.5 seconds away. Seb's really, really quick, and they might just use him there just to give him half a chance. I'm just looking at a little bow. Simon Field here in 13th place behind Stevens, and he's got Thompson and Blackwell behind him as well.
It's very, very close out there, and Steve Hefford not far behind Steve Richardson, Dan Blake. But yeah, Simon Field, such a quick driver that he is, and one of the guys, Adam, who is definitely on the move forwards in the championship. He's mired in 13th place. That shows how strong this field is.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's going to have to be part of the reverse grid draw to help him get some of those positions back. And it's just really hard to get an advantage of someone as side by side. Daniel Hunt and Alex Smolenski, they were through the final corner, and out of the final corner. This is it, side by side. GT Omega versus Laser Tools, and who's that behind? Jamie Rushworth watching as well as they head into the first corner. And Smolenski on the inside, and is he going to keep it on the track? Whoa, 3 wide nearly.
Oh, off goes Rushworth.
Rushworth having to come back on. Be careful, Jamie, you don't want to get involved in any incident. Still 3 wide as they head through the S's, and somehow they managed to sort each other out there. But who was the main beneficiary of that? Ben Palmer.
Hunt's hit the wall. Hunt hit the wall. I think Rushworth just got close, and he's hit Dan Kraft, but he survived it, I think, Kraft.
Hunt's got serious damage there.
It looked like Rushworth maybe just gave Hunt the tiniest little tap, Alex.
Oh no!
And is he still crashing?
He's in the middle of the track!
Oh
no! Huge incident there. Who's that?
Oh,
one of the Apex cars, it would be one of them.
Hunt couldn't control the car, Alex, with severe damage. And trying to get it back to the pits, and unfortunately, well, I'm not sure it was that was involved there, but it looks like it may have been Richard Gore that got involved.
Yeah, it was Richard. Poor
Two
Richard.
Apex.
And is that
and James Nash.
Nash as well, good grief.
2 Apex cars in the pits.
I think Nash was the one, Alex, who hit him when he was upside down. Oh dear. Bad times for Apex Racing TV.
Well, look at this.
The team, that is. It's great for us. We're having fun up here, but Alex isn't really.
Well, this is interesting development right here. Sebastian Job has managed to get himself onto the front 3. We were talking a few laps ago about how this is going into 2 breakaway packs, but he's been able to put in a fantastic few laps. What was his lap time last time around?
Katz hasn't got away either. No. We thought he was just leaving these guys slightly, and he's been pegged back a bit by Wojciech Savidovic.
Sebastian Job's lap time last time around was the only car in the 151s out of the top 4. Side by side in the background, who's that? That's Jamie Rushworth, I think, and he's side by side with David Baker as they head into the first corner. Stem Sim versus Laser Tools. They're still side by side, and Rushworth just holding on to his 6th position as they head through the S's. David Baker in 8th position, just watching his teammates work there. What's happening at the front of the pack though? No position changes there. In fact, Jamie Fluke just a bit closer to Wojciech Savidovic.
Savidovic has got a nice run, Alex, down the back straight, but he's not going to really be close enough to try it into the carousel. Is it an area really where you can make a pass in this car?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can get enough of a run. The guys will obviously try and defend the inside, but still, there's still a good opportunity to get a run, and I think you can hold it round the outside, and then you have the inside for the shoot turn here as well. I think Svidovic is just playing tactful game at the moment. There's no need to be at the front right now. I would say within, when there's 2 or 3 laps to go, then we'll start to see him be a little bit more forceful. Same for Jamie. We know that Power Max car is very, very fast.
Lee Thompson's just taken 12th from Simon Field, and actually Field's going to come back and take it from him again. So Apex Racing TV and Peter Newman Media as well. It's good to see that Pete Newman's back in full fettle this week after being in hospital last week, racing from his hospital bed. That was a superhuman effort, but he's back on the course today. Kip Stevens side by side with Dan Kraft now.
Yeah, great little battle that. I was just about to say that one. It looks like Kraft managed to pull that move off up into P10.
Still side by side though between Simon Field and Lee Thompson, but Lee Thompson just pulls his car back in behind. And as we head onto the front straight, we've now got 5 laps to go in this race. I wonder if these front 4 are just biding their time. They don't want to make a move too early in this race and show their hand.
Thompson's got a great run on the field. Turn 1's a prime passing opportunity, looking for a late move on the brakes, but Field is very experienced and he was very late on the brakes, but it might mean as there's a slow car there.
Richard Gore,
and that's Richard Gore, who is, he's just come out of the pits, so he goes a lap down, maybe a couple down actually now. No, it's only 1, so Gore will still get some points. Field hits the wall, just brushed the wall, and that's going to allow Thompson to surely get alongside him at least into the carousel.
Here he comes, he's going to the inside. Field goes to the outside. Maybe he knew he had a bit of a speed disadvantage there, but he still holds on. But will he go out too wide? I think he's gone out too wide.
He's got a bit of damage, Adam, surely.
Yeah. And that allows Thompson through, and now the other car, Steve Hefford, will try and go around the outside. Just can't get it work. Bit of contact on the exit there, and I think Simon Field might be letting him through. Here is he, he's forcing the Leobodna car across, and down the inside goes Steve Hefford, and he is through into 13th position.
He's definitely struggling in the right-handers, Alex. You can see that he's just got this mid-corner understeer.
Yeah, still side by side though. You can see it on board at the moment with Field.
Side by side.
Yeah, and that's like you say, he just doesn't have it in going into the corners, does he? So car's just not quite as hooked up. Yeah, perhaps just a little bit of damage there, but he still looks very racy nonetheless.
Battle for fourth place between third place between Jamie Fluke and Sebastian Jobe. Jobe is through now into 3rd position, past the Power Max car, and now he can set after the Season 6 champion Wojciech Svidovic and the Season 3 and Season 8 champion, that is Andreas Katz. In the background as well, Alex Smolensky and Jamie Rushworth are going side by side. 2 former teammates here from a few seasons ago. Smolensky moves across just to defend the inside line, but Jamie Rushworth is right with him now.
Fastest man on the track is the Season 1 and 2 champion, Kip Stevens. 151.916, fastest man the previous time round was Robert Fang. He's in 9th place for Team Carnage, and he's kind of on his own in there, but he won't be for long because Stevens is coming, and Dan Kraft as well. And Kraft, Alex, never really recovered from being hit by the car of Rushworth.
No, that's it really. I mean, still finds himself down in 11th place, so yeah.
Who's that up the inside into the carousel? It's Lee Thompson who's looking on Hefford. Hefford had got through, and Adam, he's got the outside line, so he might have the inside for the left-hander. Is he alongside the Apex Racing TV car? Not quite.
He's through past Thompson though, so Hefford through into 12th place, but he does leave the inside line open for Thompson as we head into the right-hander. Thompson down the inside, and he gets the position back. But will there be a crossover move on the exit? Now look how slow they all are on the exit of that corner. They're just holding each other up, trying to get themselves up over that hill. And now Simon Field is side by side, and Hefford moves just across. Field had to get out the power there, and Thompson just holds on to his position. So Thompson is still in 12th place.
Jake Blackall there, Alex, is at the back of this group as well with Dan Blake. And Thompson looks like he's got a really good front end on that Apex Racing TV car. Really getting into the corners nicely.
Yeah, I was looking at Sebastian earlier on doing the same, so I guess that's the direction they've gone with their setup. Perhaps not quite got the same straight line speed, but
and that'll be a problem here for Thompson, surely.
But yeah, the car does look good, and they are able to make their way up through the pack a little bit.
Steve Richardson still going well in 17th place. You can see him just behind this group. He's got Colin Cunniff in sort of a no man's land 18th. Pete Newman 19th.
Back at the front of the pack, Job is right with Savidovic as they head through the final part of the S's down the front straight. Presently bump drafting the Engineers direct car down the back straight towards the carousel. He's going to the outside. Savidovic is closing in on Katz as well. This could all be coming to a head here. In the background, more side-by-side action as well between Smolenski and Rushworth. Round the outside goes Sebastian Job. Is that a done? Oh, he turns off Katz into the tyre barrier. Unbelievable. That is not what I was expecting.
And once again they clash. They clashed at Mid-Ohio last week, and now Job is rubbing panels with Jamie Fluke. I wonder, Alex, if there was anything in that from previous races.
Yeah, knowing Seb as well as we do, I can guarantee there's absolutely not. That's just hard racing. Very unfortunate.
Sorry, Alex Fluke coming just within a couple of inches of the front of that Kia Optima of Job, and Job's going down the inside.
He's
misjudged it. He makes contact with Fluke, but Fluke's still got the inside line for that off-camber little left-hander as they rejoin the cup circuit again. Job's got an undercut, beautifully done, but can he stay on the inside for the fast left? Very even through there. Fluke using the concrete, slightly more grip,
and he's just holding on.
But is he going to stay there, Adam?
We're loving it. I know who else is.
Smolenski's off at the back.
Smolenski just holding on ahead of Rushworth. We're all loving this racing. I tell you who else is loving it. Wojciech Savidovic. He's now got a 1.5 second lead or so over the squabbling pair now, as we are now onto the penultimate lap of the race. And
Alex has got absolutely no fingernails left, I reckon. A couple of his cars involved in incidents, and then the other one threatening to be involved in more.
The amazing thing is, the top 10 have barely got an incident point at all as we head down the back straight. Job and Fluke and Smolenski and Rushworth are now side by side as they head down the straight. Smolenski on the inside, Rushworth on the outside, and so are Fluke and Job.
Job's going into the carousel, and there's hardly any braking zone there, and he's got to make it stick.
But Fluke, he just cuts in front of Fluke.
Brilliant from Job. Fluke's having a think about a dive, but he just doesn't have the pace of the iRacing World Championship driver at this time.
Smolenski is having to defend hard as well from Rushworth. He managed to hold on down the back straight, but will he be able to hold on through the boot section? Rushworth looks to the inside line, and Smolenski carries a lot of speed into the right-hander. That's going to seriously hamper him on the exit, and Rushworth is going to be right with him now as they head down towards the next right-hander.
Svaridovic leads by 1.6 seconds from Sebastian Job, and then it's Jamie Fluke in third with a gap back to Smolenski. Rushworth still trying to get past the Bulgarian for Laser Tools, and the Powermax car hits the back of the Laser Tools car,
and Rushworth might be having to go on the defensive.
Ben Palmer nearly loses it. Very close for him. Just a wheel on the grass, Adam, was nearly all it took for him.
Usually you see that on rear-wheel drive cars, not on front-wheel drive as we head through the final corner. White flag in the air for Wojciech Savidovic. His 1.3 second gap might be enough for him to take his victory as they head down the front straight. Savidovic now in front of Job, Fluke. It's all about the battle for best of the rest. Fourth position, Smolenski versus Rushworth. Look how close the Season 4 champion is to Smolenski through turn 1, heading through the S's for the final time here. Is there going to be any contact like there was between Katz and Savidovic? Rushworth all over the curbs there through the S's.
And look, Alex, who's in 6th place.
Yeah, good old David Baker. He's always there. He's waiting, just lurking. I can tell you, if they get a little bit too feisty through this lap, they'll both lose a place to him there.
Baker using the traditional line. He did use the slipstream to get a bit closer, and Rushworth's going round the outside. In the carousel on the final lap, is that going to work? It looks like it has. And
Baker
this
could
could
get
be interesting. Baker is going to take advantage of Smolenski.
Down the inside he goes.
These are the two who were first and second in the championship in season 7. And Baker, is he going to cut Smolenski off? He is, and he's made the move into 5th position. Can he get a place from Rushworth? We're looking now at the leader, Wojciech Savidovic. He leads by 1.3 seconds. Job has not managed to close in dramatically as he laps Zuzov.
Rushworth up into 4th, then Baker 5th, Smolenski down to 6th position, losing 2 places on the final lap of the race. Ben Palmer in 7th, Kip Stevens in 8th, Summerfield in 9th, and Lee Thompson rounding out the top 10. But Savidovic, he was able to benefit massively from the incident between him and Katz, and also managed to benefit from Fluke and Job knocking 7 bells out of each other as they head through the final corner now to the checkered flag.
Wojciech Savidovic, the championship leader, is going to extend his lead by taking race 1 at Watkins Glen, and a brilliant performance by the Polish driver. Wonderful stuff from him. Sebastian Job in 2nd, Jamie Fluke 3rd, 4th for Rushworth, 5th for Baker, and then Smolenski, Palmer, Stevens, Field and Roberts. Stevens, Field and Thompson, the top 10. Something happened to Roberts, and also something happened to Robert Fagg, Alex, on the last lap. I'm not sure if you saw what happened there.
Yeah, no, I didn't, but just noticed he's he lost about 10 places there, hasn't he? So
it's down to the bottom of the timing sheet, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like it might be pretty bad damage. I've got a couple of replays to have a look at, so we'll try and find that, just seeing some of the others that are coming in. Those that are almost a lap down. Dan Hunt, obviously with his damage there, tucked up behind his teammate.
Might want to see what happened to Fagg. It was a collision with... Was it with Stevens? It looks like it was. Down the back straight. Adam, I don't know if you can see this one on the final lap.
Just rewinding back.
And Fagg almost saved it, and he goes into the wall and he goes rolling over and over into the fence, and that car is toast.
Yeah, we're just having a little look at the replay now. We're struggling a little bit. It's just something going on with our overlay at the moment. But here we are up on a replay now. Then, so side by side down the main straight. Oh, it's me quarter panel on it again.
Well, we
just got into it, and it was enough to get the car loose.
We saw
into the catch fence there as well. So a major one.
We saw similar incidents in that kind of manner back in season 7, I do believe, and that was at the battle for the lead. So not good for Robert Fagg. Let's run you through the finishing order then from this first race of the evening here at Watkins Glen International. Wojciech Savidovic takes the win. It seems to be a weekly thing now. Sebastian Job in 2nd. Jamie Fluke takes a well-deserved podium in 3rd. Jamie Rushworth in 4th place with David Baker in 5th. 6th for Alex Smolenski. 7th Ben Palmer. 8th Kip Stevens. 9th Sam Fields and Lee Thompson rounds out the top 10. 11th Colin Cunniff. Dan Blake in 12th. Steve Richardson in 13th with Daniel Craft in 14th. Pete Newman in 15th from 28th on the grid. 16th for Jake Blackhall. 17th for Scott Malcolm. 18th for Ashley Blake Hood. 19th for Charles Sears. And 20th for Laura Bonds. 21st Robert Graham. 22nd Robert Plumley. 23rd Andrew Whitehead from the pit lane. 40th place and a pit lane start. 24th for Graham Carroll. 25th Michael Hall. 26th Steve Hefford. 27th Eckhart von Glan. And then some guys that might have had a bit of collisions. 28th position for Andreas Katz, who was leading at one point. 29th Steve Walker. 30th Mark Johnston. 31st for John Roberts. 32nd Russell Laidler. 33rd Rob Fagg. 34th Sharon Kaiser. 35th Stelian Shepelevsky, bit odd to see him that far down. 36th Daniel Hunt after having that contact in the S's. 37th Lee Berridge. And then the cars that were one lap down, they will still score points though. Stanimir Zuzov, Stephen Burke, James Nash, Jay Wright and Richard Gore.
Adam, you know this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Andrew. I've just got the replay up actually of the Job and Katz crash. I just thought we'd perhaps sort of have a quick look at that because obviously it's pretty major as far as the championship goes. Let's just see if I can. It
was relating to my point actually, so.
What were you going to say then?
I was going to say to you, Adam, that you probably remember a few years ago, I think it was 2000 and I want to say 2011, Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa just kept finding each other on the same piece of track and crashing into each other. It looks like that's what's happening with Job and Katz this season, because there was a bit of needle with them over the last few weeks, but it seems to have been sorted out, and then this goes and happens.
Yeah, we saw in the post. Yeah, it was 2011. Felipe Massa versus Lewis Hamilton.
Did they crash into each other 5 times or something silly?
They crashed in at Singapore, Suzuka, India.
Yeah,
I think it might be three or 4 times. Yeah, and
possibly at the start of the season as well, once or twice. And it just, what do you think? It just seems like wrong place, wrong time for these guys. But is Alex? Was Seb a little bit? Was he trying to push him a bit too hard there in the carousel? Could he have given him an extra foot or so?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It was very difficult to say.
I was trying to find a really good angle. It's really
interesting,
difficult,
yeah.
And
because
let's have a see. That might be a better angle actually. So just this third time we've run it through. I mean, it's a clear quarter panel incident, so there's no malice in there. But has anybody changed direction or anything like that? It's what I'm trying to determine. I don't know what the best angle is going to be. I might have to look at it from, say, like the chopper or something.
Could you
I wonder if Katz even knew he was there.
Do you think Katz is going onto his racing line to go onto the boot section? I'm trying to work out whether that's...
maybe.
Or is it a bit too early to go on to move over that much?
To be fair, Adam, it could be that. It could be understeer. We've all seen that happen here.
Then again, it does look like they get stuck together a bit. We've seen that in the past. Once they get stuck together, that's really the end of it.
I'm just looking at it now. We're going to have to bring up the dice in a second as well, so we can get this might do. But this one last little replay. Yeah, Katz isn't quite close to the curb as well. We tried to carry the speed in there, and it's just one of those unfortunate. There's no deviation of line from either driver.
His car's just not holding, is it?
Yeah, exactly. I think if anything, like you say, Katz has got. He knew that. I think he knew that Sebastian was there, but he's tried to take a bit of speed in, try not to be overtaken, and he's not been able to hold the inside line there. So it's I don't. There's certainly no malice in it from any driver. I think it's just one of those unfortunate incidents. And like you say, it seems to be the Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa all over again.
Because if you look, Alex, at where Wojciech's car is, that's kind of where Katz needs to be, isn't it? Just that extra sort of foot over to the right, and he can use all the camber of the carousel, and he can really get round there with good speed. But yeah, his car's just a tiny bit up the track. He may have been trying to defend the line a tiny bit by forcing Job a tiny bit wider, but
yeah, I don't
think
he was trying to force him wide or anything like that. I just think he's...
Oh, no, not force him off, but I'm saying he might be trying to cover it a tiny bit.
Yeah, I think he just, he's trying not to be overtaken. That's all that's there. So, yeah, it's just... And then, unfortunately, just the nature of the Kia and getting into the rear of the car like that, you only need the tiniest little contact. We know that. And you're done. And if you're the car that's sort of... where your rear's in sort of jeopardy, you always got to keep that in your back of your mind, I guess. There and it's just one of those things.
Adam, what do you make of Andreas Katz's last few weeks? Because he seems to have been in the wars.
Yeah, well, we know he's a great champ. Well, he's a great driver. It's a 2-time champion, and he's pushing Wojciech Svidovic all the way at the moment in this championship. But it just seems to be unfortunate that these last few meetings, his progress to close that gap to Svidovic has been halted by these little niggly little incidents, and that could have been a race victory. And despite Svidovic being in second place, for all we know, he could have had a bit of an incident with Sebastian Job if the positions had stayed the way they were, and that would have allowed him to close in immensely. Luckily for him, that hit with the wall didn't seem to damage the car that much, and he managed to limp home in 28th place. Unfortunately for him, he is outside the reverse grid draw. Let's have a look then at the 12 cars that are eligible for the reverse grid for tonight's second race of the evening. Pete Newman is in 15th position, Jake Blackhall 16th, Scott Malcolm 17th, 18th Ashley Blake Hood, 19th Charles Sears, 20th Laura Bond, 21st Robert Graham, 22nd Robert Plumley, 23rd Andrew Whitehead, 24th Graham Carroll, 25th Michael Hall, and 26th Steve Hefford. Over to you, Alex, to find out who's going to be on pole.
Yep, so we have got a new dice coming. I haven't got the system in place yet, so this will probably be the last week of that, as I know there was some some chat about this one. So, but here we go. No dummy rolls this time. You all know it's not fake. So, potential pole sitters for this are going to be 20th, 23rd, 19th, and 26th. Now to pick who it will be. It's all pretty high numbers. Big turnaround. Are we going to get a full reverse grid? Who will? Well, we'll see. '23rd.
Andrew Whitehead onto pole position. A one-time winner in this series, he could be out for his second win. Robert Plumley second, Robert Graham in third, Laura Bond fourth, and Charles Sears in fifth. Shame there, though, Andrew, for Graham Carroll after starting 40th on the pit lane. He could have had the opportunity to be on pole there.
Oh, just missed it. Carroll, who's back in the series, it's great to see him. And yeah, he's that one. Got his pro license now, Alex. Actually,
indeed, yeah, he got it. He got it in season 1, I think. Actually,
yeah. I mean,
so,
it's great to see though a driver who was. I mean, he said to us, didn't he, last week that he's not actually that experienced, is he, on iRacing compared to some of the others?
No, you're right, actually, and you know, he was very, shall we say, inexperienced in the F1 car when he went for pro, but he nailed it on his first season. So it just goes to show you how good he is.
Yeah, and it's good to see a driver come into the series, then to go away, master something else, and then return to the series even better, and that's fantastic. Right, so race 1 is in the books here at Watkins Glen. We'll be back very, very shortly for race 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.